Welcome to today's video. Today we're doing a Jaclyn Hill colorful, pretty, bright and bold look, taking it a step further from my last video. If you want to see how I got this, go ahead and keep watching. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get into it. I definitely want to go in with the neons. I saw a look that Manny MUA did, and I'm gonna insert a picture. And it's like yellow and hot pink, and it was really cool. So I kind of want to like do my own version of that. I already primed my eyelid, 16-hour camo concealer like last time. So I'm first gonna go in with No Joke, which is like the bright yellow in the palette, and just start placing this all over in the crease. Really make it as deep as possible because we're not gonna add a ton of color in there. And if you saw my last video, you know how awkward that was. I was terrified to make that video. And before I decided to start a channel, I did a lot of research with different other YouTubers that are like, oh, how to start a channel, tips and tricks, and like things to look out for, stuff like that. And almost every single person said, it's really hard talking to a camera. Like, it's really hard. It's awkward, it's uncomfortable. And I was like, I'll be fine. And then I sat down, and I kid you not, I literally busted out laughing, and I was like, what do I say? I mean, a decent amount of people watched my first video, which it's only 200, so it's not a ton. Like, you know, the bigger people, we're not comparing. That's good for me. As long as I'm growing and get a little bit more every single time, I'm happy with it. So, but anyway, now that I have those people, I feel like I'm not just talking to myself. I feel like I actually have some people that are gonna watch and enjoy it, so. So now it's definitely a lot less awkward because, okay, so the yellow is performing pretty well. I have a little bit of fallout down here. I'm just gonna wait to clean that up, build this up a little bit more. I'm really not having to do a lot. So basically the look that I saw Manny MUA do was, and this video was like a couple years old, but it was basically a story of coming out and everything, and it was really cool, really interesting. So you guys should go watch it. So then he had like basically a smoky pink outer V, and I think I want to do that, but I also want to change it up a little bit. So I think we'll go into that first, and then we may add a little bit more than he did. Actually, let's go into my man first. So we'll go into that, and I'm mostly going to focus this on the outer V, but also like in the crease, just not too far in because I want to make sure the yellow still stays there. So the response I got to that video was actually like shocking. I thought 3 people would watch it because I told them to. They were really awkward. Like, if you actually know me, you know that was a really awkward setting. Like, but also like the fact that many people watched it and took time out of their day, I was like, okay, cool. Like, I think I'm a little more comfortable now, and I feel like I can actually do this and have it be a lot more fun rather than being like stressed out about it. Okay, so the orange is pretty good. It wasn't showing up as well as the yellow, but it's still pretty good. Okay, so I'm just gonna go over with the first brush we used and kind of blend everything out, make sure everything's soft. Okay, so going into the pink shade Tipsy Girl, I'm gonna pick that up on a smaller blending brush. And like, I'm just gonna focus it out here to make sure we keep all the like different, so you can see the different steps we took, but still have it look really smooth and blended. And then just go back with the first brush again. Okay, so a little more fallout, but whatever. Okay, and then same thing on the other side, just kind of blend everything. Oh, as I said in my last video, these aren't shades I would really wear all the time, but honestly, if you're going out in the summertime to a fun bar, to the beach or something, this would actually be kind of cute. Okay, so I'm just gonna go into the matte white shade Certified, just kind of carve out the lid. And I'm just gonna spray my brush, and I always do this with the Wet n Wild Natural Finish setting spray. Okay, so now I wanna go in on the lower lash line, and I typically don't like doing this, but I think it might be cute with all the color we're using. So I'm just taking Tipsy Girl, which is the pink we used, and I'm just gonna smudge this underneath the lower lash line on like the outer half. Okay, so we're gonna move on to doing a winged liner. I have the Wet n Wild MegaLiner. I use this every single day. So this is one of the felt tip brushes. So it's not as flexible. I like both. I don't really have a preference. And then I'll go ahead and just line up basically my lower lash line and just continue that line up. I just made a little dot, but that's okay. I'll just continue that line up going at the same angle. So first thing I always do is just draw my first line. So I'll start out and just connect it in. I have to pick up my mirror for this because I have to be really close. So I'm just gonna angle it out and draw my first line in. And then I like to take the brush so it's almost like parallel to like my face. So I'll hold it kind of like this, and I'll just lay the whole thing flat and connect the line in to my natural lash line. So then we have the outer part of the wing, and then I'll just go on top. I like to keep it pretty thin on the remainder of my eye. I like the definition on the outer part, but the rest of it, I like to pretty much leave it alone, just add a really thin line. And you just connect the whole thing in. I do this almost every single day, so it's just gotten a lot easier for me over time. But also having a liner like this, where you have the cap on top that actually comes off and not one of like the pen liners, those, number one, tend to dry out, and that's going to make it a lot harder to just glide across your skin. It's going to kind of tug and pull, and then you'll get like some jagged edges. And these also just tend to last a lot longer, and the pigment is way better. It's like jet black, you can't see through it, it's way nicer. Okay, so both of them are done. I'm gonna go ahead with mascara. Same mascara I used last video. This is my favorite one right now. Okay, so last thing I want to do, actually two things. I want to still do lips, and then I bought some new blushes, like some cream blushes that I want to try out, and I got a coral one that I think would look really good with this. Okay, so I actually bought 3 new ones today. The first one I got is the e.l.f. Primer Infused Blush for Long Lasting Wear in the shade Always Cheeky. This one's just a regular powder blush, so it looks like this. And then the other two I got are some liquid blushes, which are what I really want to try out. These I got one from Milani. It's a liquid blush in the shade Nude Flush. So I thought this would look really good because my favorite lipstick that I use basically on a daily basis is Virgin by Morphe. So I thought these two would look really pretty together. But for today, I think I want to use Cheek Heat from Maybelline. So this is in the shade Coral Ember. So, okay, so she's cute. We're gonna open this up, and I think I'm gonna try to apply it with a beauty blender. We'll see how it works. I already have powder on my face, but I know I think a lot of liquid blushes, you can apply them on top, so hopefully it's not a disaster. Okay, so I tore up the instructions. Tap onto the apples of your cheeks and blend until smooth. No, a little goes a long way. Okay. Doesn't say if we can do it on powder, but we're gonna do it. So let's look at the shades. Okay, so this is the color of the first one. It really is just like a coral shade. It's really pretty though. Okay, it's definitely sheer. Okay, so we're gonna take some. Actually, I am just gonna put it on the back of my hand and then dip my sponge in. Oh, that's cute. Okay. It's definitely sheer. Let me apply on the other side, and then I have one like cream blush I already had. And then we'll top it with that one because I know that one is like, it has quite a bit of pigment to it, so. Okay, it's cute. It's a nice little flush. Okay, so I have the nude sticks. It says nudies all over face color. So it looks like you can use on eyes, lips, or cheeks. So I've only ever used this on cheeks. Basically it looks like this. And this is really, really cool. It's like one of the mini sizes. I got this from the Sephora subscription box. So basically $10 a month, and you get like, it's either 5 or 6 mini makeups every month, and it's just shipped to your house. But they put really, really good stuff in there. They'll put little foundations, lipsticks, mascaras, things like that, just random stuff. You can put skincare in there, you can put nail stuff, hair stuff. So it's a good way to try out new stuff, and if you hate it, like, you're not stuck with a lot of it, and you don't have to waste a ton of money. So I've always just applied it like this. So I'll take some on the back of my hand, and I'll just take my sponge. I'm just gonna tap in. I feel like this is making me look really summery. And it's cute. And also keep in mind that I just put all of this over powder. So I'm just gonna do it a little more. Liquid blush is just so cute because you can wear it without makeup too, and it just gives you like a little sunburned, cute little look. Okay, now for lips, I think I'm gonna go ahead and line with the LA Girl Perfect Precision Lip Liner in the shade Flesh. So I'm gonna take this, just line my lips, and then we'll go in with a lipstick over top. Okay, so for the lipstick, we're gonna use the Morphe. I think this is just called a liquid lip or something, but it's in the shade Virgin. I love this. I wear it like every single day. Sometimes I'll wear it with like a brown liner, sometimes just a nude liner, but this is like the perfect everyday shade. This shade is also really good for if you're not even wearing makeup. Sometimes I'll just do a little bit of the liquid blush and lipstick and some mascara, throw that on, and it looks like I'm at least kind of put together. So I feel like everything's just so bright. I think I need some like darkness on the lips or something. So I'm just gonna add in a little bit of this Morphe liquid lip. It's called True Story, and it's like a brown. So it's like actually brown. Like, let me show you the difference between them. Okay, so if you can tell here, this one's True Story, this one's Virgin. So Virgin, it still has like a little bit of like a brownish undertone, but still really pink and pretty. It goes with everything. This one is definitely brown, but it's really, really pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna apply a tiny bit. I'm like wiping off everything on the edge. Just gonna tap in a tiny, tiny bit. Okay, so that definitely helped. So, and with the blush, like if you have some translucent powder and you want to set it, you can. It's just gonna take away all of the sheen and shine. I'll set one side so you can see. Oh, this is my Wet n Wild Photo Focus translucent powder. So good. So, okay, I'll just take my powder brush. Okay, so if I powder this side, you can tell it still glows. It's just not as much. So you can see this side versus this side. And then I mean, I do have highlight like in this area, but even in like on the cheek, it's still kind of glowing. So, okay, so that completes today's look. Now that I've tried kind of both ranges of everything, I really like it. I'm gonna definitely keep it out easy to get to. Next upload will be Friday. I'm gonna do my everyday makeup look. So I'll do a full face, lips, eyes, foundation, everything. It'll be a full face of what I do basically every day, all of my favorite products. So that'll be Friday, 7 p.m. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. Leave a comment down below of anything you want to see, what you liked, what you didn't like, and also give it a thumbs up if you liked it so I know what to keep making.